how do you plot points on the coordinate plane? Well, before we do that, we're going to have to show you how symbolically you write points for a coordinate plane. A point is represented the following way. Let's say you were given the point 2, 2, or 2, 3. This says the following. So anytime you have something written like this, you have two brackets followed by two numbers separated by a comma, and they're talking about coordinate planes, or you're given a coordinate plane, you know they're talking about a point. The first number is the x value of the point, or the x coordinate of the point. The second number is the y value, or the y coordinate of the point. So in this example, 2 would be the x value of the point, or 2 would be the x coordinate of the point. 3 would be the y coordinate of the point, or 3 would be the y value of the point. The comma just distinguishes between the two numbers. If it wasn't there, it would be difficult to say which one is the x value and which one is the y value. So that just lets us know the first number is the x value, the second number is the y value. So always when you're dealing with a point, the first number is the x value, the second number is the y value. Let's now say we're given the point 2, 2. How would we plot that? It's very simple. The first step is you're going to have to take your finger and you're going to have to put it at the origin. And if you remember, the origin is where these two axes or lines cross. Take your finger, put it there. Now we look at the first number for the point. So this tells us how far or in which direction do we have to move along the x-axis. If the first number is negative, then we would have to move to the left, because that's where the negative numbers are. If it's positive, we would have to move to the right, because that's where the positive numbers are. So since it's positive, we have to move to the right. So this tells us how many steps do we have to take to the right. So we have to move 1, 2 steps to the right. Once we've done that, we look at the second value, or the second coordinate of the point, and that tells us how far we have to move up or down. So because it's positive, we move up. If it was negative, we would move down, because all the negative numbers are here and all the positive numbers are here. So we have to move 2 steps up. So we do that, go 1, 2. And then finally we replace our finger by a dot. So let's recap. We take our finger, put it at the origin, look at the first number. That tells us how many steps we would have to move. In this case, it's positive, to the right. 1, 2. Once we've done that, we look at the second number. That tells us we have to move 2 steps up. And I'm using these ticks to tell me how far I have to move. So I have to move 1 step, 2 steps. Once I've done both of these things, I remove my finger and I draw a dot where my finger was. And you can write where that point is. So that point is at 2, 2. So if you were to look at this, instead of you doing all the work manually to find out where that point is, this lets you know that that point is at 2, 2. Let's do one last example. What if we had the point -3, -1? Again, put your finger at the origin. Since it's negative, we have to move to the left, because all the negative numbers are on the left. We have to take 3 steps now, 3 steps to the left. So 1, 2, 3. Finally, because this is a -1, if you can't see that, I'll write a little bigger. So this is -1, we have to move down, because all the negative numbers are here. So we have to take 1 step down. 1 step down. I remove my finger and draw a dot where my finger was. Once I've done that, I would use this to label where that point is. That point is at -3, -1. So this way, someone can just quickly look and see that that point is at -3 and -1. Just a quick recap how you plot points. You're given some point, you take your finger, put it at the origin. You look at the first coordinate and you move your hand, if it's a positive number, to the right by that many steps, whatever that number is. Negative, you move to the left by how many steps it says. Once you've done that, then you take your finger, you look at the second coordinate, and that tells you how far you have to move up or down. Once you do that, you replace your finger and draw a dot where your finger was. Once you've done all that, so once you've finally drawn the dot, you label it by writing what that coordinate was. So in this example, we did that. We moved our finger here, we moved down, drew the dot, and then we labeled that this point is -3, -1. And that's how you plot points on the coordinate plane.